Hello.
Hello, hello, everybody, and looks like Goke had a bit of a shit attack there. Um, so
That's one way to put it.
anyway, we're actually doing this video again because we were talking
Even.
about cream pieing and throwing up, and Goke thought that that would be a little bit much for a video, right, Goke?
Yes, I'm trying to learn how to cook, and the cream pies didn't come out very well. When are you gonna play the Simpsons song in that Ocarina?
The Simpsons song.
Yes.
What Simpsons song? I've never heard this.
Da 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 da. You know
Well,
that one?
oh, I know the Simpsons theme. I just don't understand
Yeah,
the.
the Simpsons theme. That one.
Yeah,
Asshole.
yeah, but what? Just like use the Ocarina for like my own personal like
Yes.
make my own songs kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I just never bothered to really do it because I don't have that level of artistic talent to really work with music in that way. Yeah, it's just the problem with it is just I can't really read sheet music very well. Like, I understand that the higher the note is on the lines, that's the higher pitch of the sound, or the note, but that's basically as far as it goes. I couldn't tell you what letter it's supposed to be.
Have you ever heard that's the version of One Winged Angel, but instead of low, it's high notes.
Not One Winged Angel because I'm not big on Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy VII, but I have heard other ones like Beat It done entirely in C note or whatever.
Yeah, One Winged Angel in high notes. So it just sounds. It sounds like a Christmas song. Kind of hilarious.
Yeah, there's a few weird ones, like, I know that in Donkey Kong Country 3 there is a cheat where you can make the game Christmas themed, and one of the few things that that cheat actually does is make it so that way the bonus theme music sounds like a Christmas theme.
Never saw that.
I never saw what?
That cheat.
It's not very good. It's like, who gives a shit? But,
So you're saying is that no Donkey Kong Country playthrough?
oh, like, no Donkey Kong Country playthrough used the Christmas cheat? Well...
No. No Donkey Kong Country playthrough from you. Like, let's play from you.
Admittedly, I've done streams of it, which, I wouldn't mind doing an actual Let's Play of it, but, in terms of, the one footage that I did get for Donkey Kong Country 1, which is what I grew up with, looking back at it while editing it, I was just sort of like, I'm not very proud of the footage, so...
Right, seems like a guards give Link a beating before tossing him out.
Hopefully it was just a beating. But, yeah, so for this episode we're just doing some running around, and we're going to be doing the well and the Shadow Temple, so that should be good. Since the Shadow Temple is my favorite temple. Which one is your favorite temple? Mr.
Forest Temple.
Oh, you like the Forest Temple?
Yeah. The Shadow Temple, your favorite because your soul is dark.
Yeah, that's it. I'm secretly a emo goth person who's nihilistic about everything.
Change your avatar to Dark Starfire then.
Yeah. So, I don't really know too much about the Teen Titans, other than people really like the early 2000s TV show. And they really hate Teen Titans Go, even though the only reason that show is on is because they're basically trolling the audience, saying, yeah, we made something that's really shit, but you people keep watching it, so you're giving us money.
Thought it was money laundering.
That too, but I just know that there's a lot of like autistic people, like reviewers, like the mysterious Mr. Enter, who constantly reviews Teen Titans Go and how bad it is. But there's like
Solomon
legit
episodes. Solomon is back.
Yeah.
Hello, handsome.
But no, like
Isn't Mr. Enter that is he that one guy who?
yeah, he was the
made
one
a
guy
review?
who said that Turning Red needed to have references to 9/11 because it was released around the same time as the movie takes place. Or the attacks happened around the same time. But, so, just to give you guys a bit of a setup as to where his intelligence is, but, no, there have been, like, full-on episodes that Teen Titans Go has done where they basically make fun of, like, the autistics online, where, one of them was, Raven was watching a My Little Pony, show, like, not actually My Little Pony, but it was like a parody show, and all the show was just like the ponies just twerking, essentially. And Mr. Enter was like, oh, I see what they're trying to do here. They're making fun of us because we're bronies. And it's like, yes, good job.
You're not supposed to admit it. You know, you're not supposed to let it out so easy. Have a bit of shame.
Yeah. Anyway, so these frogs here, you do need all the gray songs to get both of the heart pieces from them. Song of Storms to get the one, and then for the other ones to make them big, and then when you make them all big, you play this silly mini game where you have them jump up to catch the butterfly. So, not too shabby. Also, you get a fuck ton of rupees from them.
So you can get their love and support.
I mean, to be fair, frogs are one of the best animals on the planet.
They're pretty funny.
Did you see the video of the frogs where they try and eat the poisonous caterpillar?
No.
Oh, it's it's pretty fucking funny, especially the meme edit one. I'll have to show it to you later, but it's good.
Have you seen that movie where Hitler comes back?
No, but I've played Bionic Commando where he's the final boss. That was pretty good. Have you played Bionic Commando or know much about it? Because that's actually one of my favorite NES games. It's really good.
No. I've only played like 3 NES games to completion. And 2 of them were terrible.
I was about to ask, was like, were they all 3 of them like Kirby's Adventure or something like that?
No, and I actually never played anything Kirby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You took me for a Kirby guy?
I mean, I'm a Kirby guy. There's no shame in it.
Yeah, the thing is, I am extremely bad at 2D platformers.
Yeah,
So,
but like, Kirby is a 2D platformer, but it's like, made for retarded babies. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But no,
Big-
being
Big fan
serious.
of the
Oh,
Big
sorry.
fan of the song for the final boss of Crystal Shards.
Yeah, Crystal Shards is my favorite Kirby game because I really like the mixing powers mechanic that they had, which is a shame they never really did it again.
Let's play with that.
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't mind doing it.
Yeah, I'm basically it's just an excuse because I really do love the music for the final boss. It's legit one of my favorite songs.
Now, are you talking about the secret one or the regular final boss? Because there's two.
The big crying eyeball.
Oh, yeah, so O2. Okay, that's fine. That is a really good theme. Although, the final boss is really good, too.
Yeah, Zero. And it annoys me nowadays that whenever I search for Zero 2 on YouTube, what I get is the character from Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah, my only suggestion to try and fix that would be to actually spell out zero, as in with the Z instead of just hitting.
I do it spelled out.
Oh.
And what I get is the character from Darling in the Franxx. No, I'm searching for the song, the final boss, Kirby. God damn it! It's another like annoying thing. I a few days ago I was looking for I think Sakazuki, which is a Japanese sake bowl.
And they gave you pictures of zucchinis?
No, they gave me a picture of a character from One Piece. And like, what the hell is... What isn't One Piece infesting nowadays?
Well, I mean, it's only been around for, what, like 20 years, and there's like 600 episodes and like 20 seasons, and it's catching up to The Simpsons.
600 is like over 1,000. It's really... It annoys me so much, because it... Now I, like, whenever I can search a random object name in Japanese, I'm gonna get some One Piece nonsense.
Well...
I don't even watch the show.
Well, to be fair, that's kind of how the Japanese do their names, is just... It's more like random shit. So, like, Hana, for example, just means flower, and
Oda just decided to be extra silly with, I'm gonna name my character after an utensil to drink sake. Thanks, asshole.
Anyway, so this sort of dungeon, the well, it's a really simple, straightforward dungeon. You basically just go to the back of it and play the Zelda's Lullaby, go back to the front, and then you get your Lens of Truth.
Ass kicked.
And
get your ass kicked by a spider.
Yep. And you just go back to the front, grab the Lens of Truth, and then you're done. It's a really simple, straightforward dungeon. The only reason to actually go around and like get the keys and all that is just if you're 100%ing the game, getting the gold Skulltulas. So guess what we're doing?
Yeah, this dungeon is sufficiently larger that way.
Yeah.
What we were talking about, I began ranting about One Piece.
Cream pies and vomiting. No.
No, not that. Okay? Sam, don't choose violence. Okay? I know you're bigger than me, but I work out more than you.
I don't know, I've been starting to work out. It's not much of a workout, but I've been doing 2 sets of ab rolling and push-ups, 10 each, so yeah, it's a start. And I've also decided to try my hand at cooking, and by that I mean I just bought some eggs.
Well, eggs are the best food that exists. And this boss was made to teach kids about stranger danger.
I thought this boss was designed to give kids nightmares for the rest of their lives.
Well, the Japanese are very fond of that, so...
No, well, I was about to say no, that was the Germans and their fairy tales, but no, then I just realized, oh yeah, they were allies during World War II. It makes sense.
And then the Italians were looking awkward in the room, like, am I the only one? Like, are we the only ones not completely mental here?
I mean, they were. It's just that they, the one benefit they had is that the trains ran on time. But no, have you read some of the German fairy tales?
No.
Okay. I mentioned this in another Let's Play of my Resident Evil 2. I was talking about it with my cousin, but I'll mention it here. Basically, my favorite one was... There's this kid, and he had this habit of sucking his thumbs, and he was like 5 or 6 years old, and he was like too old to be sucking his thumbs, right? So his mother said, don't you be sucking your thumbs or else something bad will happen. And she has to go out and grab some groceries or something. So she leaves the kid alone in the house. And naturally, he's still sucking his thumbs, disobeying his mother. And then all of a sudden, there's a crazy man with giant hedge clippers comes in and cuts his thumbs off and then runs away. The end. And that's basically like every German fairy tale. It's
I'm pretty sure that... I think that fairy tale was created to teach kids about the importance of proper cause and effect in storytelling, because that is the most random nonsense I've ever heard.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be some. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be someone out there who's going to be like, "No, Sam, that's completely retarded. No one's going to write a story that's fucking stupid." But no, it's true. You can look it up.
The Germans did. When are the Germans gonna do anything good for us?
I mean, they created cars like the Volkswagen.
Hitler's car.
The rapist car? What?
No, Hitler's car.
Oh, Hitler's car. Yeah, that's why they got him out of the Great Depression. But yeah, no, it was funny because I told my high school classmates during German class that, and they were all like, no, Sam, that's fucking stupid. There's no way that story is true. You're making it up. And the teacher who does have German ancestry was like, nope, Sam is 100% correct. That is a true story from the Germans.
Yeah, it is a pretty stupid story, though. What the hell? Like, it's just...
Baron Munchausen, though, that's a really good story. It's basically about a guy who's essentially a world-class, explorer. No, an explorer. He always does, like, these far-fetched, tales that seem too good to be true, but then it turns out, nope, they were 100% true the whole time. Like, one of them was... you know Terry Gilliam, right? Of Monty Python?
Yes.
Yeah. He did a version of Baron Munchausen, but that one had more of a... it got rid of the German influences and replaced them with, like, more British ones, which...
It had more drugs and violence.
No, it was more like... Oh, Baron... Like... So the big thing about the movie, and also technically about Baron Munchausen, the character, was that part of his story was that he was a part of the German-Turkish War. And in the movie that Terry Gilliam produced, they changed it so that it was the British versus the Turks. But Baron Munchausen was also British as well, so it was like one of those changes where it's not accurate, but it makes sense considering that Terry Gilliam and the rest of the crew were British.
They just didn't want to let the Germans have the I forgot the word. You're really
victory?
sucking at fighting this guy.
Well, it's his fucking torch in the way, god damn it.
Okay. But yeah, like, they didn't want to let the Germans have the glory of fighting the Turks.
Yeah.
I do find it really like I know we can't judge much about fairy tales because they're created in a time where there wasn't that many rules for storytelling. Like it wasn't very they weren't made exactly for with
Logic in mind.
with the principles of like, because nowadays there are like when people think there's like you're expected to follow certain rules when creating fiction. And fairy tales were made very much before that was a thing.
Yeah.
But still, like, there are some fairy tales that are just so painfully poorly done. Like, guy just randomly appears and cuts a kid's thumb off. Okay.
Well, yeah, because he was sucking his thumbs.
Yeah, maybe that's something the police should be involved with, you know? Maybe the guards of the nation should be looking for a psychopath cutting kids' thumbs off. Like that is so, I don't know. Even if it is a fairy tale meant to educate children in the like 1600s, I still refuse to accept how poorly done it is. Come on, Germans. From
there was
500 years ago.
Yeah,
better.
There was a really funny bit in South Park where Jimmy, who's like a comedian, declared that Germans were the worst comedians on the planet. And then the German government actually responded to him, saying, like, that's not true, we have plenty of jokes. And one of the jokes that they told was, a carpenter goes into a hat store. Next joke.
I thought the joke was their government. We have plenty of good comedians. Just look at our parliament.
Yeah. Okay, here's another German fairy tale that I remembered that makes a little bit more sense as a cautionary tale to kids. It was about the boy who always looked up, and the boy who always looked up.
Oh, it's a whale.
Yeah, he would always look up, and he would just run into people. He'd run into poles until one day he walked off the dock and drowned. The end. At least that one, as fucking abrupt as it ends, it makes sense. Like there's a cause in relation to looking up and not paying attention. But yeah, if you want a good laugh, German fairy tales are a good place to go.
I do recall watching I saw a playlist of Hungarian fairy tales, and there were some really funny ones. Like there was one about a shepherd who couldn't lie.
I do remember one German fairy tale that's actually very sweet and has a good moral to it. It was about a farmer who had a... I'm trying to remember all the animals. It was like 4 of them. It was a rooster, a cat, a dog, and a donkey, I believe. And they were all getting really old. And the farmer was like, well, these animals are getting pretty old. I think I should, you know, let them go, kind of thing. And the animals didn't want to be let go, because they liked the farm. So they were thinking of a way to try and stay on the farm. When all of a sudden there was a burglar who tried to rob the farmer while he was away. So what they did was that the animals who were going to be let go came up with basically a plan to scare the burglar away. And essentially each animal did like their animal thing, like meowing at him or barking, and basically just spooking the burglar away until at the very end, when the burglar fell out of a window, the donkey kicked him, and the burglar ran off and was never seen again. And then the farmer realized that, oh, these guys saved my farm from a burglar. I'll keep them anyway. So that was a good story, and also Baron Munchausen. There's some pretty good and funny stories there. So like the one funny one was that Baron Munchausen. It was a cold winter, and he was traveling along with his horse, and he decided to go to a local church to take shelter. And what he did was that he tied up the horse to a sort of like a stable rack, and then took shelter in the church. Well, what happened was that the snow melted the next day, and because the snow melted, it turned out that Munchausen didn't actually tie up the horse to a sort of like a stable pole, but rather to the rope for the church bell. So when the guy rang the church bell, he actually pulled the horse up into the bell tower. And they were like, oh shit, my horse isn't fucking up in the bell tower, just hanging there. So that was pretty funny. But there was also a few other friends that Baron Munchausen made in his adventures, where like one of them was the fastest man alive, who who was apparently so fast he had to be have like a ball and chain around his ankle at all time, because if he didn't, he'd just zoom off somewhere. There's also the strongest man in the world, who I believe was Turkish. And I think there was a third one, but I can't remember who he was now. Oh, yes, I remember. It was the guy who was a crack shoot. Or crack shot, I should say. You could give him any type of gun in the world, and he would be able to, hit it with 100% accuracy. And then Baron Munchausen was just a really good sword fighter and just got into wacky adventures.
Speaking of sword fighting.
Yeah, I'm sucking real hard at this.
Well, you're not really sword fighting right now, so you're boomeranging. I was recalling that I was recalling about that movie, The Deluge. Ever heard of it?
It sounds familiar, but can you give me a quick reminder?
I learned about this movie because of a video from SamMcKdamn talking about what he believed was the most realistic sword fight he saw in a movie.
Oh, you're talking about the weapons reviewer, right?
Yeah.
Skullgrim, yeah.
Pull Top?
Hmm?
Yeah. It was a scene from a movie called Pull Top, which is The Deluge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Polish movie. And I was just thinking, like, I managed to find this movie. It's a very interesting case because the original version of this movie was something like, it was 5 hours and 13 minutes long.
This seems like a good length for a movie.
Yeah. So,
what was the Ten Commandments? Was that one like 3.5 hours?
What? Sorry, which one?
The Ten Commandments from like the 50s or 60s.
Yeah, with Chopper Heston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was that one like 3 hours, or was it like 4? I remember that one being a long one too.
Yeah, it's something crazy like 3.5 hours. I actually have this movie. I think I told you at some point that my father wanted to watch. I had recently bought the Ten Commandments, and my father came to me and he looked at my desk and thought, "Huh? After I came back from seance, let's watch this movie." Okay. So then I watched it. I look at the duration of the film, like 3 hours and something, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, we're gonna finish watching this movie after like 3 a.m.
And your dad was like, "Did I stutter?"
Yeah. I didn't hear no bell, son.
Rocky 1 was a good movie. I haven't seen the other Rockies, but I heard that Ford completely jumped the shark.
I don't think he ever says I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, he said it in the first one.
He does?
Yeah, he gets his ass kicked, and then that's when everyone cheers Rocky on, being like, "Come on, Rocky, get up!" And then when he gets up, he's like, "Hey, Apollo, I didn't hear no bell."
I don't recall that in the first movie.
Yeah,
I do remember like that in the first round of the fight, Apollo is kind of taking it lightly because he doesn't think Rock is gonna be all that much, and then he gets decked in the face, and I think, oh my, and he realizes, oh, this guy's for real.
yeah.
He's not a chump.
Well, it was more along the lines of he was for real, but he also thought that because Apollo's original fight got canceled, he was doing this as more of like a quote charity event kind of thing, right? So he wasn't taking it too seriously. But it was a really good movie, and it's one of those funny things where it's like it's so inspirational as a movie that people actually forget Rocky loses in that movie.
I do find it very amusing that the original poster for the movie was just him and Adrian, like the shadows of the two. No, it was very much focused, like this. It gave a lot of focus on what was actually the premise of the movie.
Yeah, it was kind of like a love story, but also like a lot of it revolved around like him training for his one shot at greatness kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's kind of the thing, like Adrian is his main support throughout that movie. So much of the movie ends with them just declaring that they love each other.
Yeah.
I love how like first words he says to her as soon as she hops on the ring is, "Where's your hat?"
I thought you were gonna say the first words that he says to her in the movie is talking about his fucking turtle. Which I like turtles, but it's not exactly what I would describe as pickup material.
Yeah, he's when as the fight, as soon as the fight ends and Adrian, like Paulie helps Adrian sneak up on the ring, he just he just goes, "Where's your hat?"
Hey, the hat was very important to her character arc, okay? But
I wonder if that was something that was improvised within the movie.
yeah, it's hard to say because I think everyone knows about the whole "I'm walking here" line, but there are a few like good improvised lines that made it into the into like the final cut, so to speak. Like I know from Star Wars.
Yeah. Apparently, Carrie Fisher was kind of upset about that I know.
Mm-hmm.
It fits very much Han Solo's character, but she was apparently not happy with that.
And now we got my favorite boots, the ones that as a kid, whenever I played this, I would always dress up Link in like my favorite getup for him, which would be the blue tunic, Master Sword, Mirror Shield, and hover boots. And I just go as much as the game with that as possible.
Boo. Blue tunic, cringe and gay.
What? What's wrong with the blue tunic?
It's not red.
Yeah, but the red one only allows you to go into hot areas. The blue one allows you to fucking breathe underwater. I'd say that's a lot more awesome than fucking not being able to sweat.
not being able to sweat, but also not being able to burn, I'd say. Well, not burning as soon as the water gets slightly hotter than outside.
Okay, you want to know what you do when you get a little bit too hot out? You fucking take off some clothes and you get yourself in a cool area. You know how much cool shit there is under the water that we can't explore because of we can't breathe under there, and also pressure depths. Like, come on, man. Imagine all the Cthulhu shit we could have found out about and be horrified for the rest of our existence.
Apparently people have gone in the depths of the ocean. All they find was crabs and bacteria.
Oh, I thought you were gonna make a joke about the rich people going on the submarine. Which, sure, I feel bad for the customers. The owner, not so much. I'm glad that he was with them on that trip.
Yeah. It kinda paid for his own foolishness with that one.
Hey, what if we cut every single corner possible and make this as cheap as possible? And it's like, well, you're going to get yourself a really shit product, and oh, what do you know? You got yourself a really shit product.
Yeah. Apparently, like the speed in which the submarine compresses, it's so at that level in the ocean is so high that your nervous system doesn't even register what happened.
Well, yeah, I've seen people basically replicate the experiment of what happened using a pot of boiling water and a pop can. And basically, they show, okay, this is what happened. And it's like they put the pop can over the boiling water to simulate the pressure buildup. And then it just flattens in like 1 second. So, if they could feel being squashed down to 1 centimeter, that I feel really bad for them.
I mean, you get to feel really bad for them because they died, but at least it wasn't painful, because like it was like just an extremely abrupt thing. Oh, at 1 minute, at 1 second, in 1 fraction of a second, the sub is making weird noises. At the other, I'm dead.
Yeah, they hear one click and then all of a sudden they're at the pearly gates, and it's like, wait, how did I get here? I was on a ship.
Yeah. And why isn't the owner with us? He's in hell, son.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll never get about a lot of like modern businesses and stuff, is that they look to try and save money, but they do it in ways that is like the worst idea possible. Like, oh, what if we just skimp out on fucking quality? And it's like, well, then you're not going to get the quality that people originally paid for.
Not even quality, safety. Like,
well,
in one hand, I pay more. Like, I pay more to make this product that I want to that I want to sell to people. In the other hand, I die.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
The choice should be obvious of what to do in this case, but
yeah,
some people are just too foolish for that.
Yeah, the other thing that a lot of companies do is if they need to get their profit shares up, they'll do a mass layoff, and which does theoretically raise the profit share because they don't have to spend as much money on employees. But the problem is that now you don't have any fucking employees.
I do find on the whole safety versus quality thing, I do find it hilarious because like it's one thing to like okay, my company produces cigar. I'm gonna make a slightly worse cigar the product, like producing it is cheaper and I sell it for the same price. It's not the same thing when I'm making a product that people might die if they use, you know?
Yeah.
And now I'm getting sued because people are dying using my product.
Well, it was their fault for not reading the warning label that said, hey, in like the tiniest little print on the back of the box, saying like, hey, we changed our product around, so it's gonna give you like AIDS.
Yeah. Now instead of like aromatics, it uses cyanide. Have fun. In the case of the submarine guy, it's even more stupid because like sometimes the guy just doesn't care because he's not the one who's gonna be suffering the consequences of the product. But like in this case, the guy was the one who's gonna be using the submarine.
Yeah, he was the captain. That's why he went down, right?
Yeah, like, dude, at some point you should have realized you probably should not cheap out here, okay?
Well, his reasoning for cheapening out, from what I've heard in interviews, was that the reason why there's no innovation in today's world is because we're so focused on like safety and like being able to like we're always held back by the red tape of safety kind of thing. And it's like not necessarily. Like I will say that there is excessive amounts of safety standards to the point where it becomes a hindrance, but at the same time it's like you're talking about like cheapening out on the glass that is used for to keep the pressure equal for the submarine from when you go into those depths, and you're cheapening out on that so that way you can't actually dive that deep.
Yeah, like it's one thing. Like, yeah, I agree that the government dictating how I need to tie stuff to the top of my car is retarded. But when people are paying you to go like 3,000 miles under the sea, I think they would like to get back alive. So get back home alive, or get back home at all, because I don't think there's even a way to like. If there was any remains of them, it has been eaten by now by fish.
Probably.
So like, there is not even a way to get them back home.
So, actually, that's a bit of an interesting question. I know that, like with cemeteries and stuff, like when they bury people, it's like, well, they actually have to physically bury them. But if there's nobody there, like, I know that sometimes they put like a tombstone there to sort of remember them, sort of thing. But would they still put somebody there, bury them later? Because I don't know how it is for the rest of the world, but I know that in Canada, a lot of the cemeteries are filling up, and there's not enough room for all the new people that are going to be dying. So, for those people who don't actually have like a body or a cremation pot buried at that site, would they basically be like, yeah, you know what, let's maybe say that there's a person buried here and put another tombstone right next to it, kind of thing?
I don't know if that is a practice here in Macedonia.
Yeah. Because there's also cemeteries in Japan, and the thing about those cemeteries is that they're just sort of in the middle of the city. Like, you're just walking along, building, cemetery, building, and it's like really cramped in. Like, it's all the tombstones have like a 1-inch gap between them. So if like the cemetery situation is bad in like Canada, where there's like a billion fucking miles of unused space, then how is it in like everywhere else in the world, especially in a place like Japan where there's like 40 million people in Tokyo alone?
Okay. I don't know that in Japan there is they have the practice of having the whole family on the, like, they have a tomb for the family.
Okay, so they do like bury 6 feet, and then each foot is dedicated to like a person, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know how it's done, but it's a thing they have in the cemeteries there. Like they made they have family tombs.
Okay. Death is weird, and the way people go about it is weird.
Yeah,
that's the moral of the story.
Why do people die anyway? That's such.
Yeah, we should all live forever and have it so that way there's like so many people, it creates a new layer of the planet.
Yeah. People just give up too easy, man. Ah, I'm old. I'm just gonna die.
Oh, I love that line in like fucking movies where it's like, oh yeah, the killer like tortured this person and then left them for dead, but they didn't count on their will to live, and it's like, it's one of those insulting things because it implies that everybody else that he killed didn't have the will to live.
Yeah. Ah, I just give up. My limbs are chopped. Two guys with their legs chopped off, bleeding out, and like, I just gonna stay here. I'm done, and the other just goes quitter talk.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's also like one of those weird things because it's like, how does your will to live correlate to being able to survive bleeding out, kind of thing, you know? Like, it's like, nope, all the blood's staying in, even though there's a fucking massive wound.
You do like the guy in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, where he just pushes the tear back into his eye.
Oh, yeah.
You do that with the blood, like... You just suck the blood back into your body. You're not getting out!
Or you just punch it back into your guts, and it's like, no, you stay in there, blood. I actually have to see Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I heard that was a good movie, and the sequel wasn't too bad, but...
yeah, I've never seen the sequel, but the first one is really good.
Was that DreamWorks, or was that someone else who did it?
DreamWorks, I believe.
Okay. Oh, fun little trick about this little area is that if you do wear the hover boots, you don't land on the spikes immediately. So you can actually walk over them. And I also just realized we haven't been talking too much about the game.
I mean, we do this every recording. It shouldn't be a surprise by now, okay? We almost never talk about the game.
I forgot to ask you about the about your forest temple. Why you like it? What was it about the forest temple that you liked? Because I do like it. It's just it's not my favorite.
I mean, I don't think there is nothing much besides just how it is designed. It's a really, I think it's a really enjoyable temple to complete. That's it.
Yeah, like, I think the reason why I like it, especially in later on when I kind of figured out that it's basically someone's abandoned mansion.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. Like, what's the storyline behind that kind of thing? And unfortunately, we'll never know. Because Nintendo is weird like that.
But yeah, I really liked how you make this temple kind of someone's abandoned mansion. Like a what? Eiji Aonuma just looks at you confused.
Like me talking right now kind of thing? Like what I just said was confusing, or...?
No, like hypothetically, if you're talking like that to Eiji Aonuma. Yeah, I really liked how you made the temple like someone's abandoned mansion, like, and he just looked at you weird and like a what?
Like a mansion? I've never heard of this thing before. Let's see, what else is there?
Well, there is a target that you're failing to hit.
Look, man, when the targets are invisible, for some reason the hitbox becomes less. I don't know why. But it is something I've noticed. Oh, and here's something that we haven't talked about yet. Your favorite thing, the little wind turbines.
Yeah, my favorite section of the dungeon. Oh boy.
As a kid, I didn't realize that this wooden pole was there. So I actually would time it with the fan, be like, okay, so the fan stopped moving, time to put on the hover boots and run across. I made it a lot harder than I needed it to be.
No, you made it a challenge in yourself, because you're not like everyone else. That's how you gotta frame it, okay?
Okay. Oh, something else about the previous recording was, did you ever see what that image was supposed to be, that face on the wall? Because I recognized it was a face, but I thought that the little things underneath the mouth were like little legs, and it wasn't until like now that I realized that it's actually like a guy resting his palms underneath his chin.
I just always assumed that the makers of the game were big fans of Jack Skellington.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, they really like the Nightmare Before Christmas movie, and I thought I'm gonna make a reference to that in the game.
I mean, to be fair, it's a good movie, so I don't blame him.
I don't think I have seen that movie ever since I was a kid.
I used to watch it a lot as a kid. Like it was like every time I went over to my dad's ex's place, I would watch it, kind of thing. But yeah, it was a good from what I remember. It's
I had two cousins at some point. There was a time when I was spending, I think, a weekend in my aunt's house. And my cousins, I think to this day, they're big fans of the... I don't know if they still are, but they used to be big fans of the Fast and Furious series.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and like, one of my cousins got the DVD for the second movie, and he would watch that movie every day.
Wasn't the second one, like, even by, like, the fans' standard of Fast and the Furious movies, like, the worst one?
Yeah. It was very disconnected from the whole Toledo thing. It didn't have Vin Diesel, it was just Walker. Was that his name, right?
Fucked if I know. I don't watch Fast and the Furious. I just know that it's about guys who do heists in fast cars. That's about it.
Yeah, and the plot gets increasingly retarded as it goes along. And Fast and the Furious 8 is legit one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
8 you said, or?
8, yes. Like, 8 legitimately pissed me off. It's one of those movies that I went to watch with my with one of my cousins, because he's a really cool guy. And I think I'm just gonna invite him for a movie because we haven't done anything in a while. We're gonna watch Fast and the Furious movie. Jesus Christ, man! What a terrible movie.
The only movie that I saw that was terrible in the theaters that I was like, oh god, what the fuck did I do? It was my friend's birthday, and it was him and like 5 other people, not including me. And we wanted to watch Resident Evil, the 3rd one, Extinction, I think it was. But we just missed the cutoff for when they stopped playing it in theaters. So, as a backup, we were like, oh, let's watch this movie called P2. This sounds interesting. And
what?
P2, as in the letter and the number. And that movie was fucking garbage. Aside from the fact that it was only us and like 2 other people in the theater. The movie is about a woman who gets stalked by this night security guard who's super lonely and is infatuated and in love with this woman, and becomes like a serial killer for her, and then starts like turning and becoming the serial killer to her, kind of thing, you know? Mm-hmm. But it was such a piece of shit movie because like nothing happens, and the whole premise is that she's stuck in a parking lot for her corporation. And it's one of those movies where it's one of those horror cliches that always pisses me off, where they they have an idea on how to escape the situation, and it almost succeeds, but something happens, and now they're stuck there for another hour having to think of something else.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why I never heard of that movie.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. But yeah, it was a movie that was so bad
I do recall there was...
Anyway, it was a movie that was so bad that by like the halfway point, we were just mocking the movie, like in the theater, like being those rude assholes kind of thing. And the other people who were there did not give half a shit. Like, it was that bad.
Yeah, I do recall there was a time when I invited my dad to come watch a movie with me, and I also I think we were thinking of watching Pacific Rim.
I heard Pacific Rim was good.
Yeah, but then we got right at his theaters. Oh, Pacific Rim is not airing anymore. We're gonna what is there? There's this movie called White House Down.
Oh, fuck, I remember that one. It's about where terrorists attacked the White House, right?
Yeah, and I think Jamie Foxx, the president. And like, as soon as I saw the director of the movie, I think, oh my god, this is gonna be terrible.
Who was the director?
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's... I think the only good movie that he's done that I can recall off the top of my head was, like, maybe Mortal Kombat 1. And that's, like, a big fucking asterisk on that.
Yeah, I think Event Horizon is very well liked.
Oh, yeah, Event Horizon. That was the other one that he did. I think that's, like, the only one that people were like, yeah, that was good, but it was panned and kind of butchered in the theaters.
Yeah, because the movie kind of dealt with like a Lovecraftian style narrative, you know, they apparently went through hell, as the lore is that if you try to use the spaceship to do the warp, you would go through a hell dimension and it would make people insane and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that movie got cut really badly. But yeah, yeah, White House Down. As soon as I saw the director, I was like, oh my god, this is not gonna be good. And then, like, there was a bunch of really stupid things, like when the tourists, like when the guy is taking his daughter to the White House to like for a excursion or something like that. One of those visits like the tourists do to the White House, and sometimes I wonder if the girl in the movie was like someone's like the producer's daughter or something, because the movie was doing so much to just kiss her ass.
Was it Mila Jovovich or whatever her name was, who plays Alice? Because
no, I don't know.
If it was her, then it would make complete sense, because
it was like yeah, she's the wife of
Paul W.S. Anderson, who thinks that she's the hottest shit ever.
I mean, she was kind of hot.
I mean, she is, but the problem is that it was at the expense of literally everybody else in the Resident Evil franchise.
Yeah. No, but it was like some little girl, 12-year-old, was. I think the movie was just doing like just kissing her ass so much. I thought to myself, is she the producer's daughter or something? Because this is insufferable. So yeah, like the guy and his daughter go do like a visit to the White House and stuff, and they get searched by the security with everything, like the metal detectors and stuff, and then like the terrorists come in disguised as I think a maintenance group, and they get none of it. Like nobody searches them for anything.
Well,
like,
yeah, because
really?
In post 9/11 world, who would think that the janitor would be part of a terrorist cabal?
Yeah, and then there is a scene where like an explosion happens in like the basement of the White House, and the the news accompanying the event is like, an explosion just happened in the White House, burning the skies. They're like, burning the skies? It was literally the opposite direction of the sky. It was on the ground, on the basement. You could not, like...
Look, if there's one thing that I've learned about Pikmin is that there do exist underground birds, okay? They're part snakes.
Oh boy. Yeah, that was a dumb movie.
A fun fact that I forgot to mention about the Gibdos and the Redeads. Even though they're technically the same monster, if you use a fire attack like Din's Fire or the fire arrows against a Gibdo, it'll burn the wrappings away and they'll become a Redead. It's a weird little detail, but I like it. I think that's why during the closing spike walls that were coming in, I tried to see if they were Gibdos or not, because I used Din's Fire.
I usually use fire arrows.
Oh, just on the walls, or?
Yeah. And you are getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, I know. I keep saying it, but I swear it's because of the slight delay in the from the recording of me pushing buttons and me actually seeing it. And also, I hate it when he does the flying fist thing, because you can't actually hit him with an arrow with that. So, unfortunately, if you're looking for pro speedrun strats here, sadly, this is not it.
Go watch Torgy.
There have been a few times where I thought, you know, maybe I could do speedrunning of certain games, but what usually dissuades me from doing it is two things. First one being the whole where exactly do you post it, and like how is it sort of categorized kind of thing. And the other one being, well, what game do I do kind of thing, because all the games that I like are like the really popular ones that everyone has figured out how to speedrun, like 6 ways, and managed to like do it in like half a second kind of thing. And it's like, well, I'm not that good, so it's like almost no point.
Yeah. I think there are some speedrunners who basically specialize in titles that nobody else does, so it's like...
Yeah, like, one of the things that I thought, okay, a game I could speedrun was maybe Ghostbusters for the NES, but specifically the North American release, because of the glitches that are present in the North American one versus the Japanese version that everyone speedruns. So I thought, okay, well, I might not be able to get the speedrun record for doing the Japanese version, because they fixed a glitch in the North American version, but I could still probably do a speedrun of the NES one and be the best Ghostbusters NES speedrunner for North American version. But then it also came along to that idea of, oh yeah, this is Ghostbusters for the NES, who gives half a shit?
I don't know, man. Maybe you would be like the one guy to get the world record, because nobody else is playing.
Yeah, basically. Or it could also be like the whole, I could be like DSP and claim that I was the #1 North American Street Fighter 2 player of 2006 or whatever it was that he keeps boasting about, when in reality he came in 4th because the first 3 players were Japanese.
Well, he wasn't lying, was he?
Technically he's not lying, but technically he's also being a disingenuous piece of shit.
Uh, Calvin is grooming is like giving one of his kids a bath.
The boy with the ocarina. That is the only reason you are important to me as Impa.
Can you tell me your name again? I forgot.
So what version of Impa is your favorite? Is it like her as the ninja version, her as the old lady, or her as the big milk mama from the Oracle games?
My favorite version is the one where she's tall and brown.
Yeah, she's not too brown here. She's like maybe a little bit tanned at best. Did they ever establish if the Sheik clan was like part of the Gerudo clan, or are they their own thing? Like, how did that all?
I believe they are very much their own thing.
Okay.
They're just like a clan that served the royal, that was very close to the royal family. Like they personally served the royal family.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, if you guys don't know, you should look up Impa from Oracle of Ages and Seasons. That's a treat for you. Especially if you're the type of person who really likes Impa from Ocarina of Time or Skyward Sword or whatever. As a kid, I always wondered like what exactly the power that they give you was, but of course, these days I know that it's just, you know, basically a checklist. Which is unfortunate, but, you know, whatever. But
Power of plot.
Yeah. But with that, that's the end of the video, and we'll see you all next time. Have a nice night.
Bye-bye.